I'm Sam Waterston. You're watching Visionaries, proud to present its 11th season on public television.
Visionaries is produced in partnership with the Ash Institute for Democratic Governance and Innovation at Harvard University's John F. Kennedy School of Government. Visionaries was made possible in part by the Exposition Foundation, Incorporated, the Kenneth A. Scott Charitable Trust, a KeyBank trust, and by Dr. Fred Eshelman. Additional funding has been provided by the following.
Sometimes you read the paper and watch the news, and it seems like there's more bad news than good in the world. But you know what? It's just not true.
I at least can hold on to something, that there's something, maybe it's small, but there's something that I'm doing to make a difference.
It's just a feeling that you have. If you can help people, you have to. There's no alternative.
Every child has potential that we just can't know. And so, to my mind, that's what we're doing. We are saving potential for the future.
The wonderful thing about technology is that it can permanently alter the paradigm. Let me give you an example. Since 1776, there has been, let us say, a tension between the various levels of government. Local, state, and federal government have not always played well together. Then comes the internet. Guess what? The internet doesn't care. It sees government on every level as places filled with information. So what would happen if a website was created that organized all the levels of government into one portal where a citizen could go for help? It's here, and it's called FirstGov.Gov.
When I came to Washington, I was 22 or 23 years old, and I came as a part of the Reagan Revolution. Young group of people that came really wanting to make a difference. And a program like FirstGov really, it makes you really feel good at the end of the day that you're making a difference in people's lives.
FirstGov.Gov is the official web portal to the U.S. government. It opens up the halls of government to the American people.
If I can reach the stars, pull one down for you, shining on my heart, so you could see the truth.
Eric Brewer was the co-founder and chief scientist behind the Inktomy Corporation, and he got his start from a grant from the Defense Advanced Research Projects Administration.
10 years ago, while a professor at Berkeley, I started Inktomy, which is the company that led to FirstGov.
And he felt like he owed something back to the public.
Well, one of the key moments for FirstGov was when I happened to be at Davos for the World Economic Forum in January 2000. And President Clinton was speaking there.
And so he met the president at a function and offered him a personal gift. It wasn't a gift from the company, but a personal gift of the search technology that he had created.
Yeah, I pretty much walked right up to him and said, this is something I think you should do, and we can do it this year.
Always, the U.S. government websites had been complicated places to even remember. The address, for example, now of the Internal Revenue Service is very easy. It's irs.gov. But at one point, it was ustrej.something.something.something.gov/IRS. I can't even remember it now.
Well, our basic goal was to make it possible to find any piece of information anywhere in the world from any location.
I look at this as an example of how you take something so complicated, so intricate, so confusing, confounding, and how to simplify it.
So we proposed a project that would take 90 days to actually deliver a search engine to the federal government.
It was the first time it had been done on the scale he was talking about, of searching every web document. And we're talking about more than 24 million web pages. And so that search technology actually crawls every one of those web pages and allows the visitor to sit at home and put in a word like taxes or grants or benefits and find everything the government offers about the thing they're interested in.
The beauty of the internet is that it doesn't care which things are from a state or from the federal government or which agency is responsible for which actions. All of it all goes in the same bucket, which is it's something that's searchable. And of course, this is a perfect fit for the American citizen who doesn't really want to know these things either. They just want to answer their questions.
The model of FirstGov, if you apply it to all of government, instead of people working just in their own organizations, this model allows them to look at their work in a much broader way, much more exciting.
First, I'd like to know where we are in terms of visitor statistics and growth.
Last week on FirstGov, we had 1,359,887 visits.
Wow, great. Wow. And I'd also like to know what the public's asking us in terms of popular topics.
The possibilities are enormous, not only for getting better at serving citizens, but also allowing them the opportunity to shape government, set priorities, hold government accountable.
The letter says, I'm a grandmother raising my 2-year-old granddaughter. I need some financial assistance to help with daycare and health insurance. I also need some legal assistance in getting custody. Why isn't there a website where all grandparents can go so we can find help?
Not just ask questions, but make suggestions and see them taken and actually implemented.
There actually are 5.5 million children living with their grandparents in the U.S., and about 3/4 of those households, it's actually the grandparent that is head of the household.
And 35% of grandparents, Latinos, are raising their grandchildren.
A lot of those families are low-income families, and they're looking for government benefits.
So I think it will be extremely beneficial if we provide services or resources in Spanish to this segment of the population on parenting, grandparents raising grandchildren, and just resources for the family overall.
Here's the page, and there was a lot of federal assistance and as well as state assistance, but we did a feature site with National Center for Grandparents Raising Kids and Social Security benefits for grandchildren, health and safety resources, reports and publications, and then we found all of these state resources.
It's really beneficial about pulling together all the state information, because that's where a lot of the benefits are. There are some states that actually aren't offering information for grandparents raising grandchildren yet, so they can see what information is available from other states, and they can see what models already exist so that they can develop their own information and services.
It's great because when that does happen, as more sites come up, they can use our Suggest a Link feature to easily tell us of the new content that's out there, so we can always add to the page as well.
The people that I work with and the FirstGov team is incredible. The energy and the electricity is enormous, and they believe so much in what they're doing. It's unusual to see a government team that is so caught up in it. You really think that they're getting incredible stock options at the end of the day.
It really has to do with being committed to what we're doing, and it is about working with folks that really care about transparency in government.
I really like the idea of helping people and helping people find what they need, and that's really what FirstGov is here for.
When I heard there was a chance to, kind of help citizens find a one-stop shop where they can find all the information they need about the government, I was excited.
Whenever anyone asks me what do, I tell them I'm a civil servant, because I am. I feel like I'm providing a service to the people of our country.
Oh, I think they're absolutely just getting warmed up. This is just the beginning. And we've called it a revolution. It absolutely is just the beginning.
It's very easy to underestimate the impact of an internet-based government. So the obvious things are you stand in line less, and that is great. And maybe we'll get a more efficient government because it has better information and will make better decisions. But I think the real thing is that over time you get something that's fundamentally transparent. The internet shows it how it is, and that this increases the trust of the people in the government, and rightfully so.
I am hopeful that through this innovation and this continuous improvement, we will see the day pretty soon where people can come onto FirstGov and say, here's who I am, here's the life event I'm about to undertake, what have you got for me? And have that sort of come forth from many different agencies and many different levels of government.
For the Visionaries, I'm Sam Waterston. See you next time.
If you would like more information about Visionaries, the organizations profiled, or would like to recommend a story, please visit our website at visionaries.org. Visionaries is produced in partnership with the Ash Institute for Democratic Governance and Innovation at Harvard University's John F. Kennedy School of Government. Visionaries was made possible in part by the Exposition Foundation, Incorporated, the Kenneth A. Scott Charitable Trust, a keyBank trust, and by Dr. Fred Eshelman. Additional funding has been provided by the following: